Is this what threw Cora off balance over the full moon?
There was a shutting down of old timelines that was occurring over the full moons. There was a closing down of some much lower timelines that were not serving anybody. So that was actually being transmuted out by the collective. There were some very dark timelines that were being closed down. So that was what people were feeling, and it was exhausting for a lot of people. So that was the energy that they were feeling. So there was some, you're sensing some of those lower timelines as they were being transmuted out. That was what you were feeling there. Collective energy and shutting down timelines collectively, that was, she was feeling there.
Yeah, I've just realised of a chat that a session that I had we had when it was talking about the 144,000 grid line and it coming online and the winter solstice energy and what this would mean. And we were told in that it would be removing all negative timelines. So I'm gathering that it also was removing negative and lower timelines as well.
Yeah, I feel that that was definitely the case of what was occurring. So it was closing a lot of that down. So it was quite traumatic in a way. So the trauma was transmuted out. So all of that trauma was almost stirred up into a storm as it was transmuting out, as it was being sort of let go, it was felt as it was released.
Yes, it was very heavy energy, wasn't it?
Mm.
Okay. So that's been released now, has it? Or is it still ongoing?
There's still cleansing ongoing. Some of the very darkest stuff has been transmuted out. There's still layers that are being worked through though. So there is still more cleansing going on. So it's like just an ongoing process of cleansing. But these are higher layers, higher timelines that we're working with now. So it's different planes of existence that are being worked on. It's different planes. It feels like more middle planes. Sort of, yeah, so cleansing in between the layers. I'm just seeing like layers, 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 layers.
Mm.
The lower stuff was just completely taken out, it's gone. And now we're sort of cleansing in between layers
Mm.
and taking out the darkness that's spread in between in layers so that we can sort of move up, spiral up, with that, like the energetic motion can begin to spiral up again. The moment there's darkness in between the layers, which needs to be transmuted out, so this stopping the energetic flow from spiraling up, so it's stopping us from ascending up like we should do organically. So we're just trying to cleansing this out. So as we're laying these blueprints, as we're cleansing the grid work, it's just allowing that flow, which then allows the ascension to carry on organically as it should do, just energetically as it was always supposed to do. But that's how they prevented it from happening previously. So that's where we're getting this energy flowing back up now.
Mm.
That's what we've all been doing, sort of a lot of the time subconsciously, but that's how we've been just building up the grid. So just to so the aid the energy to be flowing up, manifesting more, transmuting it out.
Mm. Yes, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And does this make it harder for the darker forces, such as the Illuminati, the Cabal, dark sorcerers? Does this make it harder for them to play their roles? I'm guessing that the Illuminati and the Cabal that are in the third dimension, they're still doing what they do in the third dimension, but maybe the dark sorcerers would feel that they would struggle with doing their dark sorcery more so because they have to do dark sorcery in a higher in a different realm, whereas if a lot of these realms are being cleared, they would struggle.
It feels like all of that can still go on at this moment in time. It doesn't feel like that it's going to prevent that from happening. So we haven't reached that stage yet where it's been eradicated. So but it kind of goes back in on itself when those things happen. It's almost like self-destructive now,
Mm.
rather than spreading it out into the general spiral, because there's quite a lot of green energy rising now. When they're doing that stuff, it kind of makes mini vortexes where their energy's more looping, so it's kind of more isolated. So whatever they're doing, sort of the energy's coming back on themselves more. They're sort of, it's when they're trying to be generally destructive to the collective, it's kind of more coming back on them. So they're almost destroying themselves with that
Like being
energy.
reflected back to them.